Okay, tonight is the Hilulah of the Holy Tzaddik Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid. For those of you who don't know, Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid was born in the city of Tetuan in 1777. In 1777.
I was born.
Yeah, you were born in 1977. And Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid was one of the great lights and great luminaries in the Jewry of the Chachmei Sfarad and Chachmei Morocco in particular. I mentioned this many times that the Dayanim of the modern day era have to be proficient in the works of Vayomer Yitzchak. He's quoted hundreds of times in the Abiyah Omer. He's quoted. We were actually learning the sugya of Yain Nesech, a complicated sugya of Yain Nesech of Nitzok bar Nitzok. Nitzok bar Nitzok is a double connection of wine. Believe it or not, we were learning this whole sugya, very complicated sugya. I'll tell you the psak halacha even, that what happens if you have wine that is being poured by a Jew, and it hits Yain Nesech, and then that Yain Nesech overflows and hits another Yain Nesech. So it's one connection, a second connection. Nitzok bar Nitzok is not allowed. So the Sefer Darkei Tshuva, a very famous Sefer written by the father of the Munkach Rebbe in Yoredea, Siman Kuf Chavav, brings what happens if he brought a certain case that he found in the Sefer Vayomer Yitzchak from Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid. I don't know how he had the Sefer all the way in Munkach. He had the Sefer Vayomer Yitzchak, which actually discussed the question that he was asked the following in Yoredea Siman Tzadi, that they were bringing wine from Izmir to Gibraltar. Gibraltar is in the south of Spain, and that's where Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid was at a certain period of time. And it was on the way from Saloniki, and they had this barrel of wine was inside a bag, inside a sack, inside a bag, and they asked Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid that the wine leaked out of the bag, and somebody touched it by mistake, and one of the goyim touched it. So Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid has a whole teshuvah to say that it's allowed because it's called Nitzok bar Nitzok, and it's because it's the absorption of the wine comes into the bag, and that touched something else, so it's a double absorption, and therefore he says it's mutar. The Darkei Tshuva brings it down. It's just random. We were studying, right, and it came up. So his Torah lit up the whole world literally. He was known when at a very young age. They were very poor. His mother had to sell their father's shas, and he saved up penny by penny to buy his father's shas. Once again, that's the great sitkut. He was also known that he would always take care of yetomim ve'almanot. Lo aleinu, after his first he married a woman from the family named Kedoshim, and she was nifteret, and he married another woman, Simcha, from the family Bibas, and they had many children. I think 13 children, if I'm not mistaken, and many of them married Talmidei Chachamim. Many of the wives married Talmidei Chachamim, and many of the children, Rav Shem Tov BenOualid, they kept on Rav Yosef BenOualid, they kept on the tradition, and one thing I could tell you is that when I visited his kever in Tetuan a few years ago, I felt such an unbelievable kedusha, like the Shekhinah was right there. The kever is right on top of it is an old kever of Chachamim of Castilia. That means from before Girush Sfarad, and there was bats flying on top, and there was just an aura of kedusha and holiness that we all felt. And then I saw written somewhere that Rabbi Meir Abuchatzera said that it is a kever that you feel the Shekhinah there. There's a kever that you feel the Shekhinah there. That's what Rabbi Meir said. So that's Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid. So I want to mention one halacha regarding Hilchot Purim that he talks about, that and in his zichut it should protect us. Women are obligated in hearing the Megillah just like men are. Nashim chayavot b'mikra Megillah, just like anashim v'nashim. And that's what's written in the Shulchan Aruch. Now, what happens when you're reading the Megillah for someone else? So the Rama writes, if a woman is reading the Megillah, so she should make a beracha lishmoa Megillah, because she's not obligated in reading the Megillah, she's obligated in listening to the Megillah. That's what the Rama says. Shulchan Aruch doesn't say that, and there are different opinions whether she should say lishmoa Megillah or not. The Pri Chadash and the Machzik Beracha say that she should say Al Mikra Megillah, and the Sefer Noeg B'Chochma brings different minhagim. But it seems to be that the woman makes the bracha of Al Mikra Megillah. Seems to be that there was an interesting minhag in certain Sephardic countries that women would not make a bracha on Mikra Megillah, and when men read for women, they would not make that the bracha of Mikra Megillah. The Sefer Yafil Alev of one of the Palagis, Chelek Bet, Ot Aleph writes, Lo nagu anashim levarech le'atzmam shum bracha, rak olchot lebet hakneset veshomot habracha. And the Sefer Tefillah LeDavid writes this as well. They seem to write that there's a minhag that women would not make a bracha. And in the end, the Ben Ish Chai also brings this down. And the Sefer Noeg B'Chochma of Rabbi Yosef ben Naim in Daf Kuf Nutet also writes that women will not make the bracha. Interesting. So Sefer Nagwa Am, Emek Yoshua, they all write that women would not, when they heard the bracha of Mikra Megillah, they would not make, when they heard the Megillah, they would not make a bracha. What's the reason why they don't make a bracha? If they're obligated in Mikra Megillah just like men are, why shouldn't they make a bracha? So in the Sefer Magen Avot, I suggested that it would seem to be that in those times, it would be very hard for women to concentrate on the whole thing from beginning to end. And we know that if that's the case, it's called a bracha levatala. It's called a bracha levatala. Because you're not listening to Megillah, you're not yotzei. So since it wasn't so common, many women weren't very well versed and didn't know how to read. And if they're listening to the Megillah, it was almost inevitable that they wouldn't concentrate. So we wanted to avoid bracha levatala. So I mentioned that efshar de biyamenu, everybody agrees that a woman could make a bracha as long as she knows that she could be mechaven to every single word. And indeed, I write that I found that the Sefer Chazon Ovadia Nilchot Purim, Daf Nun Gimel, writes this way also, that nowadays women should make a bracha of Mikra Megillah. Rabbi Yitzchak BenOualid also writes this. Yitzchak BenOualid writes like this. He doesn't write that women should not make a bracha. Listen to this. He avoids the whole question in a few lines. He writes in Hilchot Purim Od Vav in Likutei Dinim in Vayomer Yitzchak. Here's the Vayomer Yitzchak. כשקוראים המגילה לנשים בבית, ילמד להם הברחת מילה ומילה. You should teach them to make the bracha word by word, ותברך לשמוע מגילה. So he follows the Rama of לשמוע מגילה, and he wasn't concerned that women might not be able to follow. It's interesting, somebody brought to my attention that the Sefer Yalkut Yosef in Ilchot Megillah is strong against the Sefer Magen Avot, that he brought down this halacha that women do not make a bracha on Mikra Megillah. And how could Sefer Magen Avot bring this minhag? It's not a good minhag, and you don't just bring minhagim just like that. Oh, I mean, the Sefer Yafil Alev, Noeg B'Chochma, Pkudat Elazar, Ben Ish Chai, they all say, they all write this minhag, and on the bottom I actually explain, as per Rav Ovadia Yosef, that nowadays it's different. So I don't know why he had trouble with his halacha. I think that if it's a minhag, you have to understand what the minhag, and maybe nowadays it changed. And he took it for granted that I just brought the minhag not to make the bracha, but it's clearly, I even write on the top, Isha tevarech lishma some say women don't make a bracha, ve'ayin be'ara she'efshar b'yamenu kul alma yudu she'yochlot levarech. So it's written clearly that nowadays it's different, and I think le'an yudati that women could make a bracha, and that is the same conclusion as the Rav Yalkut Yosef, sheyechyeh lechaim tovim arukim leshalom, and therefore I think that's a halacha that not only according to the Vayomer Yitzchak that somebody makes that women make a bracha, and he wasn't concerned with this minhag, but even those who wrote originally that women don't make a bracha al Mikra Megillah. Nowadays it's different. Now, what beracha do they make? If you follow Vayomer Yitzchak, they make Lishmoa Megillah. But Machzik beracha and others write al Mikra Megillah. And there's even a third opinion that says. There's even a third opinion that, in other words, the second opinion is that the man would make the bracha for the woman al Mikra Megillah. So not that the woman makes the bracha Lishmo Megillah, the man makes al Mikra Megillah. I think either way, whatever you do is fine. Either the woman does Lishmo Megillah or the man does for her al Mikra Megillah. Either way is fine. I spoke about it somewhere else, but either way you do it, it's fine. And women should make the bracha nowadays and listen to every single word. Chazak u'baruch.